Hi, this is Dr. Samir Shamsuddin from OsiriX UK usergroup.org. In this video, I'll be demonstrating on how to manage database. What is a local default database? How do you create new database on your Mac as well as on your external hard drive? And how can you delete a database? Right, first of all, let us understand what is a database. So on the left hand side you can see that there are multiple database under the section source, which is local default database, rapid reporting database, long cases database, and so on. So where is this local default database? When you first install OsiriX, OsiriX will save all its settings by default under documents. So let me show you by clicking on Finder, Documents, and you will see a folder called as OsiriX Data, which contains multiple subfolders, which actually is the database. This is where all your cases usually are present after you import them into the local default database. The problem with local default database is that as you keep on adding cases, this will slow down your system, or sometimes the local default database cannot handle any more number of cases once you have crossed 100 or 200 cases. So this means that you need to create more number of new database so that you can keep your cases much more organized. So this is how I have organized my new database. 001 rapid reporting database. This contains several rapid reporting cases, and each one of them has been categorized into several albums like set 01 containing 30 different cases, as you can see, RR1001 to RR1030 and so on. In under museum database, I got multiple number of cases, and these cases have been further subcategorized into body parts like trauma, chest, MSK, GI, GU and OG, and etc. So you can actually organize your cases much better by creating new database. So how to create a new database? So think of a name that you want to give a new database before you actually create a new database. To create a new database, you need to create a new folder, and that's a very important first crucial step. If you miss this step, you will not be able to create a new database. So let me go back to my desktop, and by clicking the right click option on my mouse or a secondary click on a Mac, you can create a new folder and call it as test. So now by launching OsiriX again, you can create a new database called as test database by selecting the file under menu bar and then clicking new database folder and pointing to the folder that you have just created, which is actually on my desktop called as test. So once you click create, you can see that there is a new database which is created called as test database. You can move around cases from one database to another database just by simply drag and drop function. So for example, if I want to move this case under test database, all I need to do is select museum database, select the case which you want to move, and then click drag and drop into the new database. So if I click test database now, you can see that the case has been imported into the new database I have already created. So like this, you can move the cases between several databases you have. One more thing you can do is you can also create several databases in external hard drive. It's very simple. Plug in your external hard drive, create a new folder, and then select File, New Database folder, and create within your external hard drive. One thing to realize is that when you remove your external hard drive, it is no longer accessible on your OsiriX, and therefore you will see the red icon. If you look on the left hand side, you can see that the demonstration database is no longer accessible by OsiriX. This is because it has been created on an external hard drive which has been plugged out of my computer, and you'll get a message saying OsiriX cannot read this file or folder. Some people want to get rid of these red icons from the source window. So how do you get rid of a database? It's very simple. All you need to do is click on OsiriX and launch Preferences. Under Preferences, click Locations. Then at the bottom of the screen you will see Local Path, Local OsiriX database files or folder. So by selecting, if I want to delete the demonstration database, I'll select that particular database and hit backspace, which will delete the database from OsiriX. Select OK, and you will see that that will get deleted once I close the preferences window. I will also delete USB import database by again selecting this database and hitting the backspace on my keyboard and pressing enter. So once I close this locations window, you can see that the USB import database and demonstration database have disappeared from my list of database section. So this is an important thing to remember. By carrying a database on a USB pen drive, it is also useful when you don't have your Mac with you and you only have got your USB pen drive. You can actually plug in your USB into any Mac which contains OsiriX and run the database and show your cases to others. You can do this by clicking on File. Instead of New Database Folder, click Open Database Folder. That means you are not copying your cases into the new Mac, you're only displaying them. So this is the difference between new database folder and open database folder. Right. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any doubts, feel free to contact me on admin@osirix-uk usergroup.org. Thank you.